Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race at Saratoga on Saturday. It's the Grade 1 Diana, fillies and mares, and several very good ones getting set to strut their stuff 9 furlongs on the turf. Before we get to the analysis, head on over to the Saratoga Handicapping shop at drf.com/spa. You'll find PPs, picks, clocker reports, betting strategies, and all the must-have tools to win big at Saratoga. Here's the field for the Grade 1 Diana. Sister Charlie looking to try to make amends, Mike. She underperformed in her most recent start, but considering her overall body of work for Chad Brown, she deserves a mulligan off the break.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I don't know that you necessarily want to be too hard on her. She obviously didn't run well in the Boston Spa last time. It just wasn't that sharp in that race. I'll suspect that she'll run better here, Dan, but I'll tell you what, she's going to have to run better. This is a good field.
Let's take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector for this race. Rushing Fall, Sister Charlie's uncoupled stablemate. She likes to be forwardly placed, and I would think she's going to make the front, despite the fact that Mean Mary, who's shown a lot of speed in her last few races, has been going in gate-to-wire fashion. I think Mean Mary's speed is geared toward longer distance races. I think she might have to sit off the pace here.
I mean, we'll see what happens. However they play it, and obviously Rushing Fall could easily make the lead in here. She's a fast horse, but I'll say this about the pace projector. I don't think Mean Mary's going to be fourth early in this race. Luis Saez knows what he has to do here. Yes, she's been running in longer races, but she's a forward kind of speed horse, and I think Louis is going to try and get her forward in this race.
The number 1, Call Me Love. I agree with the pace projector. She can make her own trip given an alert break from the inside post. She sat second early behind the Rabbit in the Boston Spa. She finished nicely along the inside. She just missed the win. She finished ahead of Sister Charlie. She's run solid races without finding the winner's circle in North America, and I really think the trip is key for her.
I mean, we'll see. Certainly she could get a good trip in this race, Dan. I guess my biggest problem with her, and she didn't run poorly last time at all, but I guess my biggest problem with her is I just haven't seen anything in her 3 starts that she's gotten over here that makes me think that she can beat Rushing Fall, or that she can beat Sister Charlie again, or that she can beat Starship Jubilee, or that maybe she can even beat Mean Mary. I mean, she's good, obviously, but I don't think she's that good.
Secret Message, the number 2, is one of 2 horses in here trained by Graham Motion, and she's coming off a good third in this race, the Perfect Sting on August the 14th, where she hung back near the tail end of the field. She's going to come with a solid run to finish third, and this is Secret Message. If you give her the right pace setup, she's going to come with a good solid run. I'm not sure she's at the level of the top horses in this race, but given the right pace scenario, she can at least get a piece.
Yeah, she can. She ran pretty well in this race here. I think getting out to 9 furlongs probably helps her a little bit. It is worth noting that she ran pretty well in this race last year. She wasn't going to win, but she had a lot of trouble in that race. Of course, that race set up really well for her with a really fast pace. But I do think she can get a piece of this, Dan. I found it hard to make her beat several of the other top contenders in here, though.
Rushing Fall finished second to Sister Charlie in this race last year, and she's just been very, very good in 2020 for Chad Brown. Here she is winning her second of 2 starts this year, the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley. She sat just off the early leader, the very fleet Jolie Olympica. She's on the outside, and through a pretty thrilling stretch drive, she's able to get up late. There wasn't a lot of closing in this race, Mike, but it's hard to knock Rushing Fall's overall form. In many ways, she's the horse to beat.
Yeah, in many ways she is. It's very true. A 5-time Grade 1 winner now. She's just been rock solid from day one. What I liked most about that Jenny Wiley last time, Dan, is she's made a lot of hay in these big races by just getting loose on the lead and not letting horses into the race. I mean, they made a conscious effort to let that other horse go last time, tracked her all the way and still drove her down at the end. She's just really good. She's in really good form. She's going to get another good trip in this race. Plenty to like about this horse.
Starship Jubilee has won 6 of her last 7 starts, including this performance in the Grade 2 Boston Spa. She beat Sister Charlie. She beat Call Me Love. She hung back in mid-pack while the Rabbit did the dirty work. She's in the blue silks on the outside. a corral, Call Me Love. Sister Charlie flailing on her left lead until deep stretch isn't able to make a late impact. Starship Jubilee is the kind of mare that just shows up each and every time. You don't worry about distance. You rarely worry about trip because she has good tactical speed. And if you're an opponent of Starship Jubilee, you better not make a mistake because she will take advantage of it.
Yeah, that stuff is all true. And she ran really well in that Boston Spa, Dan, especially when you consider that she didn't even really break. I mean, she was unprepared for the start of that race, hit the gate, and probably wound up a little bit further back than she even wanted to be. And she still managed to outfinish Call Me Love in there. Obviously, Sister Charlie didn't run her A race, but I don't really feel like that reflects poorly on Starship Jubilee at all. She's just a really good horse, and she shows up every single time.
Two-time defending champion of the Diana is Sister Charlie. Her last win in the Diana, part of a 7-race win streak. She ran third in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. She ran fine in that race, although you could argue that maybe she underperformed just a little bit. And we saw her finish third in the Boston Spa, even though the race sort of set up for her. She was a little wide turning into the stretch. Now, with most trainers, you would say, well, okay, that was a good comeback, and she'll run a lot better second off the layoff. And maybe that's the case here. But with Chad Brown, you usually expect them, especially the big names, to run big off the layoff. And Sister Charlie ran poorly last time.
Yeah, she did. It's funny, Dan, because when you go back to the end of last year, there were some rumblings after she won the Flower Bowl that, that wasn't her best performance. And at the time, I didn't really agree with that. I thought she ran fine in that race. But in retrospect, when you go back and look at it, her figure did really decline there. As you said, her Breeders' Cup, it wasn't a disaster, but she didn't run well in that race. There was a really fast pace for her in there, and she didn't make any kind of real late impact. And much the same last time, where she just didn't fire hard in the stretch. She has to turn it around to beat this field. Will I be surprised if she does it? I will not be surprised if she does it, but there have to be some concerns about her right now.
Here's the new face in the division, the number 6, Mean Mary. She has won 4 in a row coming into the Diana, including this gate-to-wire jaunt in the Grade 2 New York, where she went right to the front going 1.25 miles, dropped the anchor, and sprinted on home to win with a 101 Beyer speed figure. The pace situation might be different than what she's seen in her last few turning back in distance. She might have to go faster early if she is to obtain a true forward position. But this filly has a lot of talent, and you can argue she still has some upside.
Yeah, I think she does still have some upside. As a matter of fact, I think she's just sort of figuring out how good she is. She is getting better with every single race. I understand that cutting back against these horses is not going to be easy, and maybe she won't get the trip she likes, Dan, but I think size is going forward with her in here. And I don't think it's, definitely clear-cut that she has to be on the front to run a good race. She has been strong in her most recent races in particular. I really like the way this filly's headed.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Diana, and we are in agreement. We kind of want the horse with upside. That's Mean Mary. I think she'll be a solid price on the tote. You have to respect Rushing Fall. You have to respect Sister Charlie. But I have to be honest with you. I think Starship Jubilee is waiting in the weeds, and if she goes off a decent price, I might want to use her as well.
Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of race where when all is said and done, I'm just going to have Sister Charlie show me that she's going to rebound and run one of her good races and beat me. Maybe she'll do it. I won't be surprised if she does. But I really think Rushing Fall is the stronger of Chad's 2 in this race. And I'm not way against her, Dan, but 1 1/8, I think that it's right in the middle of, I think, what Rushing Fall wants to do and maybe what Mean Mary wants to. This is going to be a good race.
6354 for Mike, 6341 for me. It's the Grade 1 Diana. It's the feature at the Spa on Saturday, and it has an approximate post time of 5:18 Eastern. Best of luck.